Alright, so I am testing out live streaming. Here I am. So we'll see how this works. I'm going to turn this on and run a test. First of all, I'm going to go look at my own screen. I am, see if it's working. Testing out, looks like it's working. Live streaming. Alright. So here I am in XPlane. And I'm going to launch my XPlane here and I'm going to start a new flight. Alright, I'm going to jump into a new flight. I am going to search for my local airport, X-ray 04. That is my Apopka airport. Now, what plane do I want to fly? I'm going to start with something that is close to what I fly in real life, which is a Piper. So I know that within this, I can customize some things about the airplane, weight and balance, for example, like how much fuel do I actually want to have on there. Things like that. So I'm just going to leave that kind of at default right now. I can also customize my location, so I'm going to customize that for now. So I fly out of Apopka, and I've actually done some editing of this airport that shows up in XPlane. So I've added D&J Aviation as one of my starting points, and then First Landings, Aviation's over here, things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn it D&J Aviation. I'm going to confirm that, and let's start the flight. Alright. So my flight is now spawning. Let me jump in here for a second. I'm going to pull this out of the way. And just wait for XPlane to load up here. And it's reading these new scenery files. So I've been doing a lot of modifications to scenery files, adding new things, trying to make it as realistic as possible. And here I am in XPlane. Alright, so some of the basics of XPlane, if you can right click here, if you only have a mouse, you can kind of right click, look around, things like that. So look around my airplane. This box that you see here, I'll move that. This box right here is kind of how you control the plane. So if you click it and move that around, what you can see is that's actually moving the yoke around. I'm going to click it again, kind of push it around, you can see the yoke moving, things like that. So, once you click the box again, you're now kind of free to use your mouse to just click around. But once you're in this box, you're controlling the airplane. No matter where you're moving, you're kind of moving this airplane. So that's what the mouse is. Normally, you just kind of click around and set the RPM, things like that, your mixture, whatever you want to do here, flaps with your mouse. So, so right click to look around, left click to actually do things. One thing, if you have a yoke at home, and you have that connected to XPlane, you can click on this stalk here to get rid of it. So you can get to your buttons, your lights, things like that. Then you click here again and put the yoke back if you want to see it. So that's kind of really the quick basics. Now, keyboard shortcuts. They have all kinds of keyboard shortcuts about changing your views. Default is W. So if I'm looking around, looking out the window, and I just want to go back, I hit W and I'm back to my main spot here. So further ado, oh, one more thing. You can see this box here is moved. I can actually grab this box, right-click it, and move it wherever I want. Kind of default is right in your middle of your screen. That's where you're going to click to control. So let me give it a little bit of power, and I'm not going anywhere yet. Another shortcut key real quick is D for brakes. Click on D, and it releases the brakes for you. Give it a little more power. And again, I'm looking down, so let me hit W, look back up. I'm going to go ahead and use this box here to control where I'm going. Just click it one time, then let go of the button, and just move your mouse around. You actually start moving here. Going a little low, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And if you start going too fast, just hit D, and that'll turn the brake on. It's the target brake, but that'll slow you down. We're going to taxi out of here. One of the things I've been editing here in this airport is like it didn't have any of these signs. So I went ahead and started adding some signs here to make it more realistic. So we have some runway signs, taxi signs. Also the stripes here on the taxiway were out of date. So I figured while I'm in there, update some of this stuff. Little stuff, but it makes it more realistic as you're kind of flying around here and it pops up. So like an example is right up here. All these different signs on the taxiways were not that good. So what I did is I changed my view here. I can jump out to base here. So all these signs, runway markings, all that kind of stuff. I wanted that to be as accurate as possible, as close as possible. It looks like I had it all. Cockpit. Over here, runway 33. I can do all the fancy stuff and when you open, I'm just going to show you, if you just download this demo, for example, how we do it. So it gets a little squirrely with the mouse, so I'd like to go ahead and brake here. Then I'm going to put down, put on full power, hit W to go back into straight up view, release my brakes. Ooh. And this is where it gets squirrely with it. I'm taking off on the taxi, but do a soft feel take off. Right, so a little bit better. Onto the taxi, or onto the runway again. So I'm going to be looking at my instruments here, and it's 55 or so, and take off. It's stalling out, but I'm going to go ahead and just get it in the air. Not very good, but it's hard to fly with the mouse. Alright, so I'm in the air. Now what? What can I do to make this easier on myself? So here's a quick tip. Right click. Down here there's autopilot. Zoom in on this autopilot. What I'm going to do is say follow the heading mode and vertical speed. Go ahead and apply heading vertical speed. Go ahead and climb at 400 feet a minute. Right now my heading is set here. Go straight up north. That's what that little red dot means. So I wanted to follow that. So heading right here says HDG. Follow that red. So go on that heading. Vertical speed 400. So this little instrument right here is saying that I'm climbing at 400 and 500 feet a minute. See that my altitude is up. So I can turn this up a little bit and go on to 7. And you can see this change. Now trying to get me to climb a little faster. Now depending on your plane, your settings here that you actually want to follow. So this Piper and Cessna, usually somewhere right in there, is not so bad. That's all depending on the plane, and that's all. I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. So what is this going to do at this point? On autopilot. So it's going to continue on the north heading, continue keep climbing 700-800 feet a minute. Alright. So what else? Well, what if you actually want to go somewhere? So you have your instruments here, these things right here. Your navigation, radio, that kind of stuff. So if you click on one of them, it will actually pop out. With this, you can move it around the screen wherever you want. Getting bigger. The older guys like me, it's easier to see. And now I can actually program things using this button right here. And if you turn on hover mode, then XPlane will actually hover over certain things. But this is like direct to. I want to go direct to somewhere. So let's say K. So I want to go to Orlando International. Now, in real life, probably couldn't just fly to Orlando International because the airplane and all that kind of stuff. But in this case, I want to go to Orlando International, enter. And now, what I want to do is change my autopilot. So instead of just flying a heading, I want it to do something else. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to zoom in on my autopilot. I'm going to say navigation, click it again for GPS, and then click altitude. What that's going to do is say, keep me right at the altitude that I'm at right now. Navigate to whatever I put in this GPS unit. Now, if I kind of zoom out a bit here, what you can see is that there's now a pink line near my airplane. And my airplane is moving around and it captures the pink line. It's going to navigate MCO. So, if I look outside, the plane is turning around and navigating to MCO. We'll just power out here. That's it. The plane is now going to autopilot over to MCO. Another thing you can do is shortcut is M, letter M for map. Pull up this map for you. You can scroll around and zoom and see stuff. One thing it's showing me here is all this red is the airspace around the field. So, what kind of airspace am I in? Am I going to break the Bravo? Depends on how far I am, how high I'm flying, all kinds of stuff. For this purpose, I'm not really paying attention to that. I just told it to fly me to MC. Now, is that good enough? Yeah, it'll follow this, it'll take me over there, it'll turn left, right, that kind of stuff. Because I have, again, my autopilot turned on. It's on navigation mode, and if I zoom way in, you can see it's GPS. I'm navigating GPS. So, what else can I do here? So, if I'm flying MCO, and I kind of go look at my flight plan here, right now it's just saying take me to MCO. There's no other waypoints, anything like that. If I hit procedure, it's now going to ask me, well, what do you want? Approach, arrival, that kind of stuff. So since I'm flying to MCO, I'm going to go ahead and select an approach and hit enter. Now what runway? Well, I'm coming from the north without paying too much attention to the weather and all that kind of stuff. Let's just pick 17 or 18 right, because that's the closest one to me. So I'm going to scroll down to 18 right, hit enter. I want to hit vectors. There's all kinds of waypoints you can choose, but right now I'm just going to say vectors. Now it's going to ask me, do I want to load it or activate it? By default, it's just going to load it, so it doesn't start flying here. I'm going to go ahead and enter that. So now I have more in my flight plan. I'm going to MCO, and I'm going to fly this approach. That approach goes to Hanley 23, runway 18, and there's missed approach, and all that stuff. So, as of right now, this little pink dot is just telling me I'm going straight to MCO. So, what do I do next? Well, if I want to actually activate the approach, I've got to get my cursor over that. So, start moving some of this way. So you got to push it. It's right there, push for the cursor. Push. I wanted to say just go straight to 18, or I can go straight to 15 or whatever. In this case, I want to activate this approach. So I'm going to highlight that, enter, and put the directory. So now I'm told this GPS, start flying this approach. So MGO is 25 miles away. The first waypoint is 14 miles away. Next waypoint 17 miles away, and then runway 18. Here I am flying the approach to MCO. I've set my autopilot. At this point, you can just kind of kick back because this is going to do it all. Again, I'm not flying, trying to talk to air traffic control or anything. Just real basics, how to get up in the air and fly with that plane. So, what else can we talk about? So get rid of the flight plan for a second. So I got my comms here.
Sky conditions scattered at 1,700, scattered at 3,100, broken at 21,500, temperature 26, dew point 21, altimeter 2979, arriving runways 18 right, 17 left, departing runways 18 left, 18 right, 17 right, advise on initial contact. You have information echo. Orlando International Information Echo, 2145 Zulu. Wind 210 degrees at 11 knots. Visibility more than 10 miles. Rain, sky conditions scattered.
Here, sound. So the sound's coming out, blah blah blah. Sound device is headphones. I'm going to switch it back and forth and see.
At 1,700, scattered at 3,100, broken at 21,500, temperature 26, dew point 21, altimeter 2979, arriving runways 18 right, 17 left, departing runways 18 left, 18 right, 17 right.
I want to come into, so I just happened to pick the right one. Awesome. I'm just kind of chilling, heading into MCO. Got some basics. So that's just a quick test of the screen. I'll get you up in the air. I can, again, right click, look around the plane. What you can do is change your view up here, like external. I want to, let's say, case. So now I'm casing the airplane. My up, down. That's right. Look around. By default, that's flying. Okay. Flying the airplane. Back to my W. I can go back in and see where the tower is. You can sit and watch the airplane come flying in as it's flying. Watch the way it goes around. Basically, kind of get up and running real quick. More to come.